Well, obviously, we created 4 turnovers, which is what we started the spring and started this motto about. And I think our kids bought in all spring, and it showed today in the spring game. 4 turnovers is a lot in a spring game.
Obviously, that was your goal heading in. Satisfying to see and to have a kind of a positive, lasting memory of how you guys performed today heading into this break.
Yeah, no question. I think our kids did a great job from day 1 to day 15. And I thought they bought into the system, bought into the coaching staff, and I felt very comfortable after today and what we did. They played hard and they played fast, and that's something it's good to see as a coaching staff that they finally understand it, I think. And going into fall camp now, we can build on what we just did.
What changed from whatever week 2 to week 3, week 4 when Dana said, it started to seem like the defense started to get the upper hand?
Just the familiarity with the defense and the kids feeling comfortable and us putting them in the right spot and us as a staff figuring out the defense and the personnel that we had to use. But, anytime there's change, there's going to be a transition. And fortunately for us, the transition happened in week 2 and week 3. But we still have a long way to go, but it's a great starting point in the fall.
Did it surprise you, the amount of turnovers you guys were able to get and how familiar they got with it and how quickly?
Yeah. I mean, going against this offense, absolutely. But like I said, our kids going against this offense for 15 days, our kids understand it and they can anticipate things as opposed to going against a team that you see and only get to prepare for 3 days. There's a big difference. So the familiarity with our offense has definitely helped us defensively.
You came in saying that no preconceived notions on any of these guys. 15 practices in, who's really shown you something, and then who do you see as potential leaders for this defense?
Lagerman really does a great job of leading. We don't really have a lot of experience on defense, and we surely don't have a lot of vocal leaders. So someone's got to emerge, and I think he's one of them that emerged. We have Carl Joseph did a great job this spring. I know he's not a leader, but he jumped out as a true freshman that came in, and he's definitely going to contribute a lot. Corners got better today. They didn't have a great spring, but today they showed they had a pretty good day.
You were missing 4 starters, obviously, today from last year's defense. What were those 4 guys you think going to do to maybe help bring even more energy and more skill, obviously, to the defense?
Well, anytime you lose 4 starters and you don't have them during spring, they're going to be behind the learning curve a little bit. But they did a good job listening to meetings, but it's still going out there and doing it. To get Garvin back and Snow back and who was the other one? Pat Miller.
Yeah.
Those guys they give you that much more experience. So, no, I think when we add those guys into the mix, I think we'll be a lot better than what we showed today.
What did you not install this spring?
Well, there's certain blitzes that are like game specific and, going against your opponent. So there are a lot of blitzes that we didn't do this spring that we'll add in the fall based on our opponent. That's really the only thing.
Will those be sort of game week things, or is that something you'll tackle in fall camp?
Well, it could be just see a pressure we'll use 3 weeks, and another pressure we'll use for 3 or 4 weeks. Different ideas based on how their opponent protects the passer.
So it's not like you just have half the defense in at this point.
No, we have the majority of it in, and there's just like different tracks when you run blitzes. Sometimes they're inside, sometimes they're outside. It's the same theory, though.
So you mentioned it was a weak deal, I guess, that going against this offense is the best preparation for the Big 12.
No question.
And you look pretty good today, like you knew what you're doing. And you just said a second ago that it's kind of be expected because you'll know their checks and their calls.
Right.
So realistically, how valuable is these 15 practices for what you'll see failing Texas Tech? I mean, all the way through.
Well, it's like I said, it's invaluable. I mean, there's no question that going against this offense will prepare us for at least 8 games that we'll see. And there's going to be a lot of recall when we watch film on our opponent. Well, our offense runs the same play. Well, this is how we defended it in the spring. This is how we're going to do it today.
I think a lot of us, we've been hypnotized or whatever. We think he's got this completely unique offense that nobody runs it like he does. Maybe there's parts of that's true. But how common are some of the elements? Like you said, you'll recognize a lot of the stuff because you've seen it in the spring.
What Dana does that's different than anybody else is the timing of his calls are really phenomenal. And what he does with his tempo, that's what sets him apart from everybody else who tries to run this offense. No one knows the offense like Dana. No one that we've played against in the Big 12. The key is timing and play calling for our offense, and that's what sets us apart.